The FDA has approved a medication to protect babies and toddlers from the potentially dangerous RSV virus, which of course hit Americans hard last fall, particularly scary for kids. The makers of Beyfortus say it can prevent RSV in children up to 2 years of age for an entire season. Each year, more than 2 million children younger than 5 contract RSV. Up to 80,000 of those children are then hospitalized, and as many as 300 die of the illness. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder is an infectious disease expert and the editor-at-large for public health at KFF, and she joins us now. Dr. Gounder, thank you very much for being here. So how does this medication work, and how effective is it?
Beyfortus is a shot, but it's not a vaccine. It's what we call a monoclonal antibody. People may be familiar with that from COVID, where we had monoclonal antibodies that we used for treatment. In this case, it's being given for prevention. And in clinical trials, reduced the risk of hospitalization among these very young infants by over 80%.
Do you have to do something special to get it, or will it be recommended or brought up by your doctor at a regular checkup?
Well, the CDC's ACIP, which is the group that makes recommendations about the use of vaccines, they have yet to make those recommendations. But I think you will see those rolling out fairly soon. That will likely be in conjunction with what we predict will be the approval of an RSV vaccine for the protection of infants, actually administered to pregnant women. We can get into that in a little bit later. But I think likely the Abrysvo vaccine will be first line, with the Beyfortus being given, say, to high-risk infants whose moms just didn't get a chance to be vaccinated.
So what are the parallels between the two, the one that's given to infants and the one that might be coming out for women that are pregnant?
Right. So Abrysvo is an RSV vaccine for pregnant women. You'd be giving it second or third trimester. The idea is the mom makes the antibodies, and she gives her baby antibodies through the placenta. And this is actually how women protect their babies against a whole host of things. For the first 6 months or so of a baby's life, it's mom's antibodies that are protecting them.
So many viruses out there. I'm sure folks out in TV land are confused by, what might...
scared, quite frankly.
And they're scared. But what should people be looking out for? And in particular, who is at most risk?
So RSV, the season is usually fall to spring. There are certain groups that are at highest risk, so infants under the age of 2, but really the very youngest of infants. In the first couple months of life, they have weaker immune systems, they have smaller airways, they're more likely to get in trouble with these kinds of infections. And then pregnant women themselves are at higher risk, and the elderly, so people over the age of 60.
So should folks keep their children at bay from, large crowds or even grandparents coming over? I mean, how should they approach this?
I think it's common sense. You go about living your life, but you take appropriate measures. You wash your hands. If you're sick, you stay home from work or school. Just the common sense things we all know work.
We touch our kids' faces constantly to
I
build up the
know.
immune
Yeah.
system. We just roll them in puddles and hang out and party,
Sometimes common sense ain't so common.
Yeah,
But then they
that's
get
true.
us sick is the problem.
Yeah.
Dr. Celine Gounder, thank you so much.